What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for joining me today. Please be sure to follow, please be sure to subscribe, and check me out on Twitch. I stream Tuesdays and Wednesdays for the most part, but I'll also give you guys an update if I stream any other days here on YouTube, so please check it out. Today we are talking about the Warlock changes that are coming to June 9th. I wanted to start with the video for the Voidwalker. They received a new aspect, Soul Siphon. Started off by striking a foe with the powered melee, and then once it's readied, you press your melee ability to begin siphoning energy from all combatants in front of you, dealing damage and gathering overshield and class ability energy from each target. Soul Siphon's damage is scaled by the enhanced benefit of the melee stat. So build crafting to go into melee. This is the Strand Warlock Mind Spun Invocation plus Threadling Grenade rework. Okay, so your grenade is just kind of like a turret now, it looks like. Launching Threadlings. Okay. So like a mini minion grenade. But without further ado, let's get into the Warlock changes. So starting off for the Warlock, we're gonna go to Dawnblade. So on Dawnblade, Heat Rises aspect. So while Heat Rises is active, it now reduces the accuracy of combatant attacks versus the Warlock. This is in PvE only, and Heat Rises no longer decreases the initial burst of speed provided by activating Burst Glide. So a little bit of a buff there. The Icarus Dash aspect. Increased fragment slots from 2 to 3. Okay. Stormcaller. The Chain Lightning melee. So Chain Lightning increased damage versus combatants by 100%. Now has 2 ability charges by default. And then the Lightning Surge aspect, increased fragment slots from 2 to 3. So that's your Cha-Cha Slide ability. For the Voidwalker on the Warlock, Child of the Old Gods aspect. So now suppresses combatants for a short time after initial attach. Increase the child's max speed and acceleration by 100%. Increased fragment slots from 2 to 3. The Nova Bomb Cataclysm. Allied projectiles now pass through the Nova Bomb projectile instead of colliding with it. That's all for the Voidwalker. Going to the Shadebinder. The Frost Pulse aspect now grants 5 stacks of frost armor if this ability freezes a target. Increase fragment slots from 2 to 3 for Shadebinder. On to the Broodweaver. The Wanderer aspect. Threadling Final Blows now reduce Tangle cooldown by 1 second. Okay, and that's it. On to the exotics for the Warlock. First one we're looking at is Nezarec Sin. So currently void damage kills increase ability energy recharge rate. The new effect, targets damaged by Soul Siphon are suppressed. Defeating suppressed targets or with Soul Siphon grants an additional 1.5 seconds to Abyssal Extractors. Metadoxia. So currently targets damaged by Arcane Needle emit a suspending detonation when defeated. Landing multiple Arcane Needles or Needle Storm on the same target immediately triggers a larger, more powerful detonation. Defeating suspended targets grants melee energy. Arcane Needles are strong against barrier champions. They found that Metadoxia was dealing bonus damage lower than expected. Uh, increase the suspending burst damage from super by 22%. This makes it equal to the Curious Thunder Crash. So that's a buff for that. Skull of Dire Ahamkara. So, okay. So, we're going to read this whole thing. So, the Ahamkara Bone Helm is a classic exotic, but that's no reason to let it ossify. Returning energy on super final blows is so 2017. Last year, Voidwalker got a second melee charge and a second grenade charge with Chaos Accelerant. Why not a second cast of a Nova Bomb? Better yet, how about we bring back Nova Bomb Lance? Why stop there? Maybe you could detonate your Cataclysm Nova Bomb with Nova Lance for massive boss damage, if you time it right. But you're special, and you can time it right every time, can't you, oh player mine? So the new effect. After casting a Nova Bomb, you get a short period during which you can cast a Nova Bomb Lance. Destroying a Cataclysm Nova Bomb with a Nova Lance creates a Nova Vortex alongside the Cataclysm Nova Bomb Seekers. Okay. The super energy on Nova Bomb final blows and weapon final blows while you have Devour. The additional damage resistance while casting Nova Bomb has been removed from the perk text, but remains as a hidden functionality to help the new play pattern sing. Okay, that's nice. So, after casting a Nova Bomb, you get a short period during which you cast a Nova Bomb Lance. Destroying a Cataclysm Nova Bomb with a Nova Lance creates a Nova Vortex alongside the Cataclysm Nova Bomb. See, that's going to be interesting. Definitely going to have to make sure I have that for when they drop it. Crown of Tempests. Crown of Tempests is an exotic that is decently powerful, but rather demanding to maintain and unexciting to use compared to other options in today's sandbox. Plus, Crown of Tempest on Stormcaller Warlock deserves a bit more thunder, don't you think? Increase the duration of conduction times in PvE from 7 to 10 seconds. And the new effect, while you have at least one stack of conduction times, Ionic Sentry creates a storm grenade when it is deployed. Okay, it'd be interesting to see that. Next exotic we're going to look at, the Mantle of Battle Harmony. So they say it's been left a bit in the dust over the years. The changes they made allow it to function even when fighting bosses, as well as give it a nice bonus for actually choosing to use your super instead of holding on to it for the damage bonus. It now can trigger its super energy gain or weapon damage bonus on sustained weapon damage in addition to final blows. After casting your super, now gain surges for all elements and weapons matching your super's damage type, and cause detonations when hitting targets for a moderate duration. The Astrocyte bursts. Because of the natural limitations of blink and small area of effect of the volatile bursts that this exotic grants, it has struggled to see much use. To address these issues, we added a new air move ability, which should help with add some flexibility to link both in and out of combat and expand its ability to apply volatile. The new effects, while both this helmet and blink are equipped, you can use your air move input to perform a dark blink horizontally in any direction. This ability has a longer cooldown in Crucible. Blinking or dark blinking now grants volatile rounds in addition to the volatile explosion. Our next exotic, getting towards the end here, the Dawn Chorus. So the various benefits didn't quite come together into a strong build, which limited its viability. To address this, it expanded its Scorch benefits to also affect ignitions, which should synergize well with Incinerator Snap and further improve its interaction with Daybreak. Now causes your Scorch to build an even more intense ignition, grants melee energy for dealing ignition damage in addition to Scorch damage, removed internal cooldown on energy gains from Scorch damage, and retune gains to return slightly more energy overall. It now causes Daybreak projectiles to always immediately trigger an ignition. Okay. That'll be interesting to see. So, Nothing Manacles. Scatter Grenades and Nothing Manacles got a bit too much love in Renegades, so they're toning them back a bit. Extra Seekers can no longer chain off themselves, just the initial grenade. Reduced extra Seekers generated from 4 to 3, and reduced range and lifetime of extra Seekers. Controverse Hold. While it was nice seeing handheld Supernova back in the spotlight again, the value for the effort of using it with Controverse was a bit too free. Reduced energy returns when used with Magnetic Grenade and handheld Supernova by 15%. This is in addition to fixing the health chunking bug. Boo. And then next we got Daimo Suffusion. Daimo Suffusion has been a recurring point of feedback in Crucible, allowing far too easy kills while being completely safe. This should help in reducing that, increase the time between damage ticks against players from 0.1 to 0.3 seconds. Okay. Well, and with that, that is the end of the Warlock tuning to their subclasses and aspects, and also their exotics. So, if you would be so kind to give a like, leave a comment, maybe drop a follow, we will continue to be covering Destiny 2. And we will be continuing to engage in Destiny 2 through June 9th and after June 9th. So please continue to support. It really means a lot. And thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you in the next one with the Hunters.